like in many other countries, India also has huge access problem. About I guess about 40 million people, 400 million people do not have access to electricity. Now, what does it imply? It implies that the regulators, policy makers, private sector developers, electricity companies all need to work in tandem if we have to really achieve this access target. It's not going to happen just by having more renewable energy, just by having more private investment, just by having tariff rationalization. Any one solution is not going to be sufficient. So essentially, if you have to really take on this access challenge, then we need to really have a integrated approach where all actors work in one direction with one mission to have improved access. Regulators need to really take this as their own mandate. Their emphasis is on ensuring that distribution companies are able to charge adequate tariff, have revenue, are financially sustainable. So these are definitely required, but ultimately the sector has to work for consumer interest or interest in terms of providing energy access, and there the regulatory mandate is somewhat weak. So what is required is regulators taking more interest in having, let's say, public review of what is the access status in different states, what are specific measures that are required by different stakeholders to ensure that access really improves, what is the current service quality. The act mandates that the regulators have to annually publish a report highlighting what is the compliance with their standards of service regulations, but hardly any regulator does that in a true spirit. When we are looking at access, it's not just about having wires coming to your house. Actually the wire should be able to provide good quality electricity which is affordable and in sufficient quantity so that they can meet their basic needs, starting from lighting to entertainment needs like television to having some kind of productive activity based on electricity. So unless we have this complete integrated approach, we will not be able to really achieve the access challenge. I think one of the most crucial thing when we are looking at renewable based access solutions is to really be able to understand what the consumer or what the household is really interested in. Unless there is a very clear demand that is being met, these systems or these approaches are not sustainable. So if people are primarily interested in having, let's say, watering services for their farms, then that should be the first solution that we should try to provide for, rather than taking something which is off the shelf, something which has been successful at some other place and trying to replicate that system. That approach is not going to work. People are interested not in your kWh or units of electricity. What they need is light. What they need is motive power. So how can we provide that kind of energy service based approach is very important, because then that will sort of throw up opportunities for innovation, finding solutions which are more sort of suitable for local situations.